It's time. I'd like to call the October 7th Park and Rec meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome Pam Clone to the Park and Rec. Everybody could go around and say who they are, so she'll know.
Mike Barrington, County Council Rep.
Tim Roberts, District 4 Alderman.
Ginger Soul, Director.
Bernie Ritchie, 5th District.
Dennis Herder, 3rd District.
3rd District, sorry.
Not the fifth board.
John Hass, District 2.
Belinda Croy, District 2.
John Fisher, 1st District.
Nice to meet you.
Chris Clark, I'm the Administrative Assistant.
Mark Herder, City Mayor.
Chad Hart, the City Administrator.
Welcome, Pam. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, look for a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Bernie, second by John Hass. John Fisher. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And also now it looks like for approval for the September 2nd, 2025 minutes.
I'll make the motion to approve the September 2nd meeting minutes.
Second. Motion made by John Hass, second by John Fisher. Any questions on it? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Done. Public comment? No public comment. Okay, Ginger, Eagle Scout presentation.
Thank you. We have Colton Swanson here, who is a prospective Eagle Scout, and he'll be giving a presentation. Also, Luke Hammonds has been working a lot on this project with him, so he may interject if needed, but most should be with Colton. So thank you.
Evening, everyone. I see quite a few familiar faces. I'm here to present the archery range that's been getting talked about. So just a little bit about me. I'm a junior in high school here in New London. I've been living in New London since I've been in school. I'm also part of the Economic Development Committee. And I just been in Scouts since 2nd grade as well. I love it. I love being in the outdoors. Just one of my favorite things to do. So a little bit about the archery range project is it's going to be right on River Road off of 54. There will be 5 shooting platforms as well as 5 targets, each at different distances from the shooting pad. The shooting pad itself is about 26 by 12, and the target pads themselves is roughly 5 by 5. I plan there to be hangers to hang your bow, so you're able to hang it up instead of laying it somewhere. I also plan on creating a quiver for people's arrows using a piece of PVC, just to cap it off with some foam at the bottom so that it doesn't damage the arrows.
And those will be in the shelter, correct?
Yep. Then I was told that the city will be able to assist with some of the signage, such as like park name or like the archery range name, and prepping the ground, such as the berm and the gravel lot. That's all I have for the description. Then I believe that the project will benefit the town because I know there's a lot of hunters in New London. I know if you walk anywhere into any store, talk to anyone, they can at least say they've been hunting. And I see that New London had no archery range. I see it as a possibility that maybe the school could use it as like a club or a team, possibility for a league that wants to start. I see it as an area to teach people that want to learn how to shoot archery, or even people that just want to practice their archery skills when the year is not in season to shoot archery. I plan to begin carrying out the project this month, October 2025. And I believe that I'll be able to have it finished September of 2026, which is also when I turn 18. I said for the amount of people I need to help me is 10 people. I just plan on going to like friends, family, or even some of my other scouts to assist me. And I think the hardest part about it would be like the coordination on the days that I would need them to be there. Some of the materials I would need are like different sizes of lumber, 2x6s to all the way to 2x10s, 1x6s to 1x12s, 4x4s to 4x8s. I need some steel for the roof, 2 foot by 4 inches and 4 foot sections of it. Then I also need like various fasteners such as screws, nails. Then I also talked about Mizik, like building supplies like plexiglass and PVC. Some of the other supplies that I was gonna buy for this was just drinks for those who work, garbage bags, tarps, work gloves, first aid kits. Some of the random tools that I would also need, there's like rakes, shovels. I know someone that would be able to assist with a skid steer, laser level, bow float, trowels, just nail guns, all the common stuff you would need for building. Some of the other needs I was gonna use is digger's hotline, just to make sure it's safe out there. And then I also was talking to a few different people for pouring concrete. So my cost estimate that I have set up was roughly $6,000 for materials, $200 for the supplies, $200 for the tools, then $100 for other, just like certain, if something breaks, just to repair, or even just to buy something else. And I plan to seek donations from the local community, seeing if certain businesses could possibly donate materials or supplies, or even monetary donations. Some of the phases I've talked about needing to go through is like the planning phase, which is where I am right now. On the presenting phase is where I am. I also need, next phase is seeking donations, discussing with possible helping hands, inspecting the grounds, buy supplies, then begin the building process, and then obviously finishing it. I have a trailer that I'm able to use, that I plan to use. Then I also have a truck that my dad said he's willing to help me out with, to transport materials, supplies, tools, all that. I was also needing to list the safety issues, just the minor cuts, scrapes, dehydration when we're working out in the sun, sunburn. A very uncommon one is falling, but you never know. And then in your packets, there are some photos. I do have extra packets if anyone needs
Oh,
one.
yeah. Don't know. That is not. Is it?
Photos?
No, the actual application for, no, okay.
Does anyone want one?
Yeah, you can just, someone, you can come through.
So the first photo is just like some concept art of what it might look like. There has been some simpler changes to it, such as there's gonna be a berm on 3 sides of it instead of just that one, just to make it a little safer. Just to ensure maximum safety, again, just saying. Next photo is another idea of the concept art, just facing uprange. Right there is facing downrange, just to show the targets. Those aren't actually what the targets, like target face is gonna look like. I plan on using Morel double XL targets on buying them. And then one of the last photos Oh, maybe it's
This
not
is
in
the
there.
first one.
Oh,
here.
first one on there. That's what the grounds look like at the moment. It's been raked and everything. I went out there, it looks pretty nice. I think it's a great area to put the archery range if it will come into motion. And that's all I have. Any questions?
What direction would you be shooting? North, south, east, west?
You'd be shooting south, I believe.
I think that was a great presentation. I appreciate your efforts, Colton. When it comes to helping hands, you got my information. I'd be happy to help you. I also have a couple other community members that would also be interested in giving you a helping hand and possible donations.
Thank you, Mayor Mark.
Will the targets be able to be a crossbow shot into them?
I plan on the last, like the farthest one, being able to use a crossbow on it. Just because I know there are some people that do use crossbows, and obviously it wouldn't be a great archery range without having various like selection for what you'd be able to shoot in.
Well, looks like you've done a lot of thinking on this.
With the help of Luke, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the dog park turned out great over there. You did a great job on that, the guys did, so I can't see there's gonna be any different here. Looks like you're organized. Anybody have any questions for him?
Would the ground just be grass or would you have gravel?
Gravel.
Gravel. You said that possible naming the range. Have you thought of what you're gonna name it?
I haven't thought exactly what I was gonna name it. I was hoping to work with Luke more on the name or even you guys.
We do have a naming right policy, so we can go through that process with you.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
I agree, it's a great idea. Well done.
Mhm.
Maybe have like a wall where people that do donate could have recognition.
Similar
I
to
was
the dog
planning,
park.
yeah.
Anybody else have any other questions for him?
No questions, just excited to see it come to fruition.
Everything really did fall into place nicely.
Yeah.
Thank you to Mayor Mark. Kind of,
I'm excited. I know
Suggested,
there's
yeah.
a lot of community members that are excited to see this happen as well.
so do you need us to sign, like, we have a proclamation or something for the mayor to sign?
I only need one for the beneficiary, which I have
Okay,
labeled as you.
uh-huh,
It's just a signature
okay,
and just the date.
Okay.
And then I also need to give you a paper though.
Okay.
I could do that later.
alright.
And as Ginger stated, Colton, if there's a proclamation that you need or anything further from me, just
Of course.
please reach out and whatever you need, I'll be happy to assist.
Do you have a projected start date?
Ginger, have we
I was
formally
gonna start
approved this
this
at
month.
committee
okay.
level yet?
Hoping to get donations.
Thought
right
we
as soon as
did.
possible.
But maybe not. That's what I was asking,
Yeah,
kind of.
if
That was
we
my
haven't, I
question.
think we should formally accept and authorize.
That's what I was wondering, yeah,
Authorize the
yeah.
installation of the proposed archery range.
Yeah.
Just to make it official.
Yep,
You want that now?
Mhm.
I'll make a motion to approve the Eagle Scouts presentation of the archery range. And everything that he presented to us.
I'll second.
Second, motion, motion was made by John Hass and seconded by Bernie. The city to authorize the building of the archery range. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
thank you, Colton.
Alrighty,
you.
thanks,
Thank
Colton.
you, good luck.
Well,
Well,
oh,
maybe
it's
those
fine.
Part-time wage schedule.
All right, so after you sent this back to me, I sat down with my staff and it sparked their interest to show up tonight, which I really appreciate. And also sat down with Chad and Judy, to make sure that we looked at this as an overall city budget as well as just, of course, the Parks and Recreation budget, because that's where it really fits in. So when I showed you last time, the comparable communities and the comparable, internal city jobs, they fluctuate, and you're gonna see within the city, some of those positions were 40% more than what we can offer our staff. So obviously, the city and the state of the city and the budget, which Judy is gonna go over with you, we would not be able to bear a 40% seasonal wage increase. What we can do right now is about I believe this is 10 to 15% increase, and I did do it based on position and not just an overall 10% increase. So based on the job duties, and the positions. So if you go through, actually, can I have this?
Is it on?
Yeah. Probably. There. Did you? Okay, got it. So. Are you gonna be able to switch that over? Okay. So what I had initially proposed was in the bright orange there, and that was a 5% increase, to the wage, starting wage. So in the, recreation department, you would have saw about a 4.5% increase, moving down, to the other positions about the same. Remember that the senior bus and the senior center are a little different because they're a much smaller budget. So it was increasing our overall difference, to, is that a 33 or a 5? 3, $57,177. So then, I took it back, threw in a couple different increases on the second proposal, which I'm giving you tonight, is that, that I explained was a 10 to 15% increase. So you can see that that does increase all, positions quite a bit. So rec is gonna be coming up 6%. Parks is gonna be coming up a little bit more because I did do a, with that position, looked at the job description, took the advice from some of you saying, you know, you're going to be working on a piece of equipment that is very expensive, and are we really gonna have the people that we're just picking up because we need a warm body in that position, or can we really market it to somebody that will do a good job at it? So that's why that one is a little higher, at 7.6. At the pool, that goes along the lines with the rec. Remember, as you looked at the policy, and I'll bring it back in a second, there's that base wage, and that is the same for rec and a pool, staff that does not have their lifeguarding yet. So those are two very similar department raises. The senior bus, that actually was raised a little bit more because, once again, that position, those positions are driving a very expensive piece of equipment and doing some very detailed work. I felt that they should be compensated for that work. At the Washington Center, actually, we were able to switch some things around and make that work a little differently because, some of it floated into rec. Morgan's positions, can be kind of varied between rec and the Washington Center, same staff, just different, GI accounts. So the second one does increase, the overall budget by $30,000. So this is not something to be taken lightly. And we are all very grateful that you told us to come back and give you something different and something higher. This was the very next step up that I could do that we could afford. So what I'm gonna do is, so this is what I was talking about with the average local competitor wage. So that is, these are positions that are within the city or similar positions, and the newly proposed is still not at that level. We're not gonna get to that level in 2020 until 2029, and that's if theirs stay the same, which I'm not stupid. I know that that might not work. But this is the best that we can do for a hypothetical increase, without raising our fees so high that people aren't going to be using our programming. And I'll go over that when I talk about the fee schedule. And I'm gonna, can I switch back to now the actual policy? Okay, so you see here, this is the base. And this is $1 more than what we had initially started with. Base levels coming up 75% for lifeguard or exercise instructors. This one here is one that changed drastically. That's that mower caretaker position. That's a part-time position where we're having them technically on call in the winter time, but they're not getting call-in pay. And they're also driving those $200,000 lawnmowers. And we want them to have respect for them and know enough to know about them, that they're, what they're using is a very important piece of equipment. And then we move down forward, same goes here for that transit driver. The senior center supervisor is evaluated with the full-time staff, so that's just what the full-time staff wage increase is. Transit driver, same thing, they're driving that senior bus, it's brand new. We do have somebody coming, we are hiring for this position right now. So we want that wage to look appealing on that job request. Hopefully that can bring somebody in. And then we go down to the lifeguard base wage level 1, which is the same as the rec level 1. That's a full $1 more. After speaking with staff, they said, you know, anything over 10 is gonna look better than 9 when you're providing this for 15, 16-year-old kids. I think something also to mention is that the staff that we're bringing in, the question was, you know, how are we gonna get these people to come work for us? And I don't know if it's we're getting them to come work with us is keeping them working with us. We have that the annual raise for them, the longevity to keep them, and things like that. We treat our staff well. We're very flexible with them. They get to do their sports still. They get to do their after school curriculars. Jim closes down the pool early for prom, for homecoming, things like that. Whereas Subway doesn't do that, you know, festival doesn't close early, you know, and they do have a wider range of staff, but and we're kind of forced to do it, but we do it, which is helpful. So I guess it's not what I could do to get them as even as we wanted to see them when I heard you last month, when you're like, we need these to be up to even. We can't do even right now, but this is what we can do based on conversations with Chad and Judy about the overall budget. So if it's all right with you guys, I'd like to move on to the fee schedule then, because they're both kind of a similar conversation. If that's all right with you, Bob?
Fine with me. Does anybody have any questions on the wage scale?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have questions on the wage schedule and it appears that you put a lot of work into it. It was 2 years ago, we went through, doing the wages for the full-time employees and making sure that everybody was at a competitive rate. And we recognized that the seasonal people were left behind there.
Right.
And I'm still feeling like they're being left behind. I understand our budget constraints.
Right.
I do like seeing this and that you put the effort into that, and I just want to encourage that continues to be a focus moving forward.
Absolutely.
It's an easier pill to swallow to say that we're still lagging behind,
Yep.
as long as we have an action plan to get it up to where it needs to be.
Absolutely. Yep. Remember that next year when I come.
I will definitely remember that.
Absolutely, yeah. Because like I said, last month, when I started my budget conversation, we are told to keep a 0% increase. Judy's very, like, that's our memo is do not increase your budgets if you cannot, if you absolutely have to. And I try. It's hard. So, moving forward to the fee policy. Most recreation fees, after bringing it back, I had been increasing them 5%. So now I'm coming back with fees to be increased at 10% to supplement the 10-ish wage increase that I brought back for review. The revenue increases, of course, will depend on future enrollments. These are all just fluffy numbers right now until people actually enroll for our programs and get our memberships in. So it's very important to remember that these fees will still need to stay reasonable to the general public. I mentioned before that we're a service to the community. We are not a privately owned business. We are not a YMCA that can inflate prices for super deals one time a year or something like that. So we want to provide the programs to the entire community. Not sure the well-off are paying for those extracurriculars, but we do want to provide this to the entire community. As we move through the document, we have continued the 10% increase through the fitness classes. If you look at the revenue sheet and the overall budget, you'll see that we did actually, and this is when Judy will go over the overall budget, we did cut some adult and fitness programming projected revenues in half, and that was based on the last 3 years generated income. It did drop significantly from 2023. So to the date, we're currently doing a reevaluation of those programs to overcome those shortfalls, which is one reason why we didn't do a huge raise in the fitness instructor class or instructor wages. But we need to be realistic and not set ourselves up with that budget fall every year. So our classes are still quite reasonable for the area and the service provided. So our intention is just to find new ways to market and reach to a larger audience and bring them in to supplement that staff. Excuse me. On the other hand, we had a banner year at Camp Hatton. I think that our fees are reasonable for all. Our staff does a great job and the childcare environment is in our favor, with the camp being a great alternative for daily childcare in the city. I had not initially supported an increase in fees for the program because I feel it's important for even the families with financial disparities to have reasonable childcare options during the summer. However, with the higher wage increase, I did put a 5% increase in for that program. With swimming lessons and facility use fees, this program was previously presented with a 5% increase. However, with the 10% wage increase and the consistently full classes that we've had I feel like the programming can support a 10% increase in fees. However, following up with comparable communities and facilities, we did raise pool rental fees with suggestions from all of you that we are still recovering those costs and supporting the wage increase. So that was quite a large increase in the aquatic and fitness center rental fees. So we will still package that opportunity for families in a way that encourages more use. I think the fee will not discourage the market value of the product received. That's still a great deal for what they get for having the pool basically to themselves, 100% to themselves. Moving on to other facility rentals, we will be leaving our park rentals at the same fee. We are perfectly in line with the area market, and the facilities that we offer are enough to support that. The Washington Center was initially presented at 5%, and I have increased that to 10% to offset those wage increases as well. This facility sees so much use and so much wear and tear that I think that it's completely acceptable to raise those fees. The Washington Center Senior Center room is consistently full. We will be offering the North Room as an option for those who wish to rent a larger room with a full kitchen. I did include that in the revenue increases for 2026 now. I had not initially, but after seeing the need, I think that it's important that we do that. The capacity and setup is similar in both of them. They each have their own unique designs, but I think that we will find most weekends that those are full. We are going to try deposits this year for that normal wear and tear when it becomes unacceptable. We have found oftentimes that we'll get a call on Monday morning from the senior center staff or from the county staff that the facility is just a mess. And it's their job to leave it as they found it, which is perfectly clean. Garbage is put away, and that takes time from our staff to have to come into the clean that facility. So we will be implementing deposits. Most departments do have those and use those. It will take some extra diligence on Monday mornings to review and assess the facilities, but I feel like our staff has a good communication line and we'll be able to do that. Same in the parks. We've had a pretty rough summer with parks, with renters leaving things pretty messy. And so that will be another thing, you know, photo evidence is going to be key for the staff to be taking the pictures and sending them over to Chris and saying, hey, this was from the shelter to rental, and we should be holding their deposits. So after that's all said and done, I thanked you last time for pushing this back at me. I appreciate your transparency and seeing that we're not supplementing our staff like we could be. And this is the best that I can offer, making it as reasonable price for the community, but also compensating our staff the way that they should deserve. So I present to you the part-time seasonal wage study and the policy.
Looks to me like you've crunched the numbers probably as good as you can get out of them. Times are hard right now, and at least you're looking out for the community with the daycares and stuff like that, because that's a big issue right now too.
Correct. Yeah.
Anybody got any other questions, anything, Ginger?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah,
because,
yeah, I'd say not so much
you
as a
know, raising
question,
that,
job well done.
your lawnmower guys from
Yes.
13 to 17 is huge.
Yeah.
You're gonna get better guys.
Yeah, that's my hope. Yeah.
And I think that like, for example, the pool rental fees
Mhm.
going up, that's still a great deal.
It is.
I mean, and having the additional room rental, those are still amazing rates for renting a room.
Mhm.
which is why we're seeing them filled all the time.
Right.
So even with the increase and even with the security deposit, those are great rates. Just phenomenal. So very good job. Thank you.
Anybody else got anything for Ginger? And I'd look for a recommendation to approve the 2026 part-time seasonal wage schedule.
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Motion made by John and seconded by Bernie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So then I'd also look and recommend the 2026 fee policy and schedule.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Bernie and seconded by John Hass. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I just want to make one more comment to your staff. Thank you for showing up. You don't get recognized enough. I just wanted to make sure that we said thank you for all that you do and for being here tonight.
Updates and reports, Ginger.
Okay, we've had a lot of going on this month. The crew helped with the installation of the panels over at the community sculpture. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you take some time to walk down there. And the Wolf River Art League is still taking fish orders, so if you want to see your name up there, go ahead and connect with one of them. We've also we did get to meet with the ball clubs individually to rehash their seasons and plans for next year, and I'm meeting with a lot of contractors and McMahon for capital expense estimates. The overflow parking and dock project wrapped up for the most part. We have a few small things that we're gonna look over with McMahon next time they're around, and then Schmidt will not be putting the boat dock in until spring. They do have it in hand. They have some work that they need to do on it, and then they'll deliver it down to the boat launch, and it'll sit there in the winter till we can move it up in the spring. So that will be all set to go. I know that we had talked about, well, what are we gonna do for parking there? After reviewing the ordinance, the parking is not assigned to stalls necessarily, as so the launch itself. So if you use the launch, then you need to pay your fee. If you do not use the launch, then you do not have to pay a fee. The double site, the double stall lots then will be assigned for permit parking only, which we do have in the parking lot right now. So we'll install some more signs down there. And then all of the singles will be for anybody that would like to use them for the park or the trail. Just a couple other things. I've been working with Strongwood on construction of 2 light pillars that are being installed at the entry of the parking lot downtown. You will see that the base of it has been poured. They're waiting on bricks. Coming from Texas, apparently. So they hope to start laying those at the end of this week and then working with utilities to get the pole set for those. The goal is to have that done by Pumpkin Palooza, which is the 18th of October. Been working with Keith from PC Cell Solutions and Ted Christian to have the hat and camera system ordered and installed. We will have that done this fall. This will include public Wi-Fi at the park, as well as staff Wi-Fi at the Kunkel shelter. So that'll go along with our new time system. Keith was also working on setting up public Wi-Fi at Franklin, so then most of our major parks will have Wi-Fi at them. Also working on upgrades at the Aquatic and Fitness Center and their camera system. Also this week, I received the news that the DNR did secure funding for the sturgeon habitat over here at Viper Park. That will be a September 2026 project. Remember, that is to install more sturgeon-friendly riprap along the banks over there. So just sent them their letter of support to go ahead with that and submit the permit, the DNR permit to the DNR. So apparently they have to also do their work, so that will be exciting to see coming to fruition as well. Then I'm just continuing to work on that, the the comprehensive outdoor rec plan. And we have not seen a draft of that Spark program design that we worked on with the Pearl Street District. Remember that gentleman was on paternity leave, so whenever he gets back, we'll hopefully get that. So I'll be able to present that to you guys. So it's been busy. That's all I have.
Nobody has seen their sculpture thing over there. It's
Yeah,
really amazing. I was over there today. I took some pictures of it and stuff. You can get the little minnows for the kids or something. They're $20 for a minnow.
yeah.
And then they got different prices on the bigger the things are, but it really looks really neat.
Those sturgeon are huge.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Yeah, very expensive. But it shines nice in the light, even from the street, which I really like. So,
And I've had some comments on the trail already. I
yes,
think it's nice.
yeah,
Likes it. So
I'm getting a quote for it to be finished, so.
I've had a few questions of wondering why it didn't go farther.
Yeah.
All the water zones, that section, so that's
Yep,
their deal. People didn't realize that. They thought the city owned that.
yeah,
They don't.
sure.
Other than that, I don't have anything. Anybody else got anything else?
I was just wondering, is there any plan on fixing the tennis courts at Hatton for next year or anything? Cause it's,
Capital projects is next month.
I just didn't know if there's been any talk about that. I'd like to see.
I have a list a mile long
Okay.
for improvements that I'll present next month.
Good.
Yep,
Okay, we review our next meeting date, Tuesday, October 7th.
That's today,
oh, 4th, November 7th, 4th.
November 4th.
I'm looking at like October 7th, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go back.
Get that month of time back.
Didn't catch that.
That's right.
Otherwise, anybody else have any other comments or thing for Ginger, if anybody else? I'd look for a motion to adjourn. Bernie made a motion to adjourn.
One second.
John seconded it.